Good morning, Lewis. I am Brandon Jarrett with Frankie Corso. Thank you for joining us this early morning.
Good morning, Flyers. We hope you are all enjoying this week as we head into October.
I'm so ready for the cold weather. You know?
I'm ready for fall. It's my favorite. I love spooktacular season and I love Halloween.
I like wearing hoodies.
Me as well.
Hoodies, joggers.
Yeah, I agree, for sure.
Let's check out the latest trending topics.
Hey, Brandon, do you know what time it is?
No, Frankie, what time is it?
It's time for trending topics.
Ta-da. So this first one is mine. It's about Transformers 1. And when I first saw the trailer, I was a little skeptical. I didn't really like it, but I saw a couple clips on TikTok and I actually thought it was really funny.
I've never seen Transformers, but sometimes I make jokes about it. So maybe I should watch it now that you've put this up here for me.
You haven't seen any of them?
No.
Like not even the first one?
Do I look like a Transformers kind of girl to you?
Well, no, that one came out a long time ago.
I guess, but
I think it was like 5.
well, it's all you, Brandon. It's all you. So this one's mine. This is how I was feeling, especially this weekend. I feel like every week for me goes by so incredibly slow. And then the second the week hits, even if I'm not doing anything, like if I'm just relaxing, it goes by like that.
I think they've been going kind of fast. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's just
Oh,
like,
the weeks?
Yeah, they go by fast. We're in week 4 now.
Well, like in hindsight, I'll look back on it and be like, wow, that went by really fast. But
I don't know. It depends. on what
during,
you're doing. I
I'm
get
not
you.
loving it.
And to our next tweet, me on the first day of fall, even though it's almost 90 degrees outside.
This is real.
I'm telling you, I'm ready for the fall. I'm ready for pumpkin patches, trick or treating.
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
I wanted to do a video about fall, and I couldn't because it was 90 degrees outside. Like I was wearing shorts and a tank top sweating, and I couldn't do that. So on to our next tweet. Okay, so this I feel like is actually, I hate when people say relatable, but I actually do feel like it's pretty relatable because my dad is like this, where my sister got her dog, a pit bull, and he was like, don't get that dog, don't do that. They're best friends. Like this is literally my dad with Stella, so.
I feel like that's a lot of parents because I got a dog and my mom keeps saying she doesn't like her, but then she'll talk to her, she'll pet her.
You walk into your stepmom singing to Lulu, my dog, and I'm like, what's going on here? This is weird.
They just like to lie about it. And on to our first TikTok. Look at him go. What a guy.
Wait, I think I saw this.
Look at him, he's fast. A little wipeout. This one, I like this one because he's a dog that's skateboarding. Like, what more
I
could you
don't
ask for?
understand how dogs like have the mental capacity to know to get on the skateboard and just start going.
And for him to go down the stairs, I can't even do that on a skateboard.
Yeah, I can't even stand on a skateboard, so I don't.
He's talented.
Yeah. On to the next TikTok. That is my favorite TikTok of all time. I find myself going back to this so often because that man definitely has been holding that laugh in for that long.
Honestly, he has a contagious laugh.
That
if
was like
you're
a
around him,
stale laugh.
that one was cooking.
Yeah, it sure was.
Next up, we share some feel-good stories sure to brighten your day. Rare painting from Belgian surrealist artist Rene Magritte's famous Empire of Light series could sell for more than $95 million at Christie's New York this fall. That price tag would break the artist's record at auction. It would also score a major win for the auction house after softened sales across the industry. The painting is part of a private collection which will go up for auction in November. A Christie spokesperson says a significant portion of the proceeds will go towards philanthropic initiatives.
A baby penguin is making a big splash on the internet. Pesto, a 9-month-old 50-pound king penguin, has gone viral. That includes a photo of him hanging out with his parents. It all started with a gender reveal clip from Sea Life Melbourne Aquarium, where Pesto lives. Zookeepers say Pesto is now well on the way to adulthood and has even started losing some of his baby feathers. The zoo says swimming lessons from his dad will likely be starting soon.
8 new emojis are coming to smartphones and computers. They include an exhausted face with bags under its eyes and the flag for a remote island in the English Channel called Sark. There's also a root vegetable, harp, shovel, and a purple splatter. And a leafless tree is meant to raise awareness of drought and climate change. The popular emoji reference site, Emojipedia, released sample images a few months ago. Now, a non-profit that oversees global emoji standards and new releases has approved them. The new emojis will roll out over the next few months and throughout 2025. Up next, we'll show you what's new at Louis U. Stay tuned.
Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
What are you looking for?
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Today I'm here with Mimi Cowan. Mimi is the chair of the Wheatland Township Democratic Party and served as an elected chair of the Will County Board until 2022. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. How did you get involved in local politics?
To be honest, I Googled Democrats in Naperville one day, and I saw there was a meeting, and I went to a meeting and started talking to people, and that was the start of it.
As all good things start with
Yeah.
a Google search.
Exactly, exactly.
During election season, what are some of your responsibilities?
So our political system in Illinois is divided from the state party on both parties. Both Democrats and Republicans have a state party. They have county parties, and then we have township parties. So as the township party chair, I am responsible for organizing Democratic volunteers, campaigns, candidates, and activities within Wheatland Township, which is the northwestern part of Will County. So all activities, whether that's canvassing, fundraisers, events, getting everyone together, finding election judges, having meetings to get everyone together and on the same page. So coordinating all of those activities, connecting people to the resources they need in the area, whether it's connecting volunteers to campaigns, finding spaces for events, anything that comes up during the course of the campaign season.
Oh, you have a handful to work on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what are your responsibilities in the off season?
Well, you say the off season, but actually, little known fact, in Illinois, there's only about 3 or 4 months where there are not active campaigns going on every 2 years. There's only 3 months every 2 years. So It's from April to about August in odd number years is the only dry time. Because right now, municipal candidates are filling out petitions to get on the ballot for the April elections. So they've already started their campaigns before this November election is over. So when they get to their election in April, then we're in a period where there's no elections from April through when petitions start for the next midterm election, which is in August. So those odd number months, odd number years for 4 months, there's no elections. So for those months, then we do the same things we normally do. Fundraising still for candidates that will be running, organizing, making sure we're still engaging volunteers, talking to people about platforms and policies, keeping people engaged, making sure we have volunteers for when the campaigns are running, and looking for new candidates for those positions that are coming up.
So it's just a constant cycle.
It's a constant cycle.
Why is it important for young voters to get involved at the grassroots level?
Well, I mean, I think, this has been something even, 20, 30 years ago when I was a young voter, we were having these same conversations. So this is a perennial conversation that's going on. Young people are always pulled in so many directions. You're thinking about careers, you're thinking about relationships, you're thinking about school. So politics is just one more thing to have to think about. I know how that feels sometimes, but politics is pervasive in everything we do. It's not something on the side. It impacts your job. It impacts your job opportunities, how you're going to be able to afford a house one day, how your relationship choices are going to work out, where you're going to live. So it matters in our fabric of life. So that's how I think about it. But, the thing about grassroots involvement, it's not just about the president or it's not just about the governor. Our local politicians are really accessible. The state representative in this area, Dee Avalar, she's pretty young. She's not college age, but she's really accessible. Her office is right in the Bolingbrook Promenade area. Anyone could go and meet her and get a meeting with her and learn about what's happening in state government. And she's young and enthusiastic and would love to meet Lewis University students. The mayor of Romeoville, John Noak, he is totally into meeting people. I guarantee you if LU students reached out, he would want to talk to them. So when we talk about grassroots involvement, it's not necessarily a difficult thing to do. These politicians, they're just people. And I think sometimes we get a little disheartened about, politicians and government, it's all the same. But the antidote for that is meeting these people. They're all just, even the people we disagree with, they are honestly trying to do what they think is best for their communities and for the people around them. So get to know them. See what they think. Even if you disagree with them on one thing or another or a lot of things, get to know them. Go to their offices, go to their events and see what they think and tell them what you think. They want to hear. So I think even if you're not going to be deeply involved, go out, get to know them. So let them get to know you too. That's really important. And most of them really do want to know that.
It's nice to hear that they're very accessible and willing to listen to students.
Yeah, and even your federal congressional representatives. I don't know exactly who represents the college, but in this area, Congressman Bill Foster and Congresswoman Lauren Underwood, very accessible. I'm sure they would come out to campus and love to meet college students. So,
that sounds great.
Yeah.
What are some misconceptions about voting? For example, your vote doesn't matter.
So that's a great misconception. So. I think that stems from, in Illinois with the Electoral College, A lot of people feel like, okay, your vote doesn't matter because all the electoral votes in Illinois are almost definitely going to go to the Democratic candidate. Okay. So the first misconception is that, right? So, but voter turnout's low. If everybody voted, that could be different. Okay, so let's put that, we have such low voter turnout. But even let's put that aside. I've seen city council races where people have lost by 15 votes. So, okay, maybe one vote wouldn't change that, but do you know 15 people that didn't vote? I bet you do. So I think, you know, when we talk about the local elections, your vote absolutely matters. So again, that goes back to getting to know these people. And sometimes on local elections, that makes it more difficult because oftentimes you have to get to know these people a little bit more. Because on local elections, they often aren't running under Democratic or Republican titles. And sometimes we like to take the easy way out, being like, oh, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, so I'm just gonna vote for all the Democrats or all the Republicans. Well, in local elections, you might not get to have those labels. You actually have to go out and do your research and get to know these people a little bit more. So it takes a little bit more time and a little more research. But that's where those votes matter. And it does matter. Your vote can matter, but you have to work a little bit harder to get to know these people and what the policies mean and dig in a little bit. So, you know, the county clerk race, that's a local election that can be decided by a couple hundred votes either way. And that's the person running our elections in our local area. If you don't think that matters, I'm here to tell you it does, you know, or, you know, something like the county coroner. You might think the county coroner doesn't matter, the person who like takes in people after they're deceased, but deal with somebody who's had to deal with the county coroner. The way that we investigate deaths in the county, absolutely that matters. And the way we treat, for instance, overdose deaths, that matters. And the policies we create to deal with overdose deaths, I think that matters. So a couple hundred votes either way, or 50 votes either way, or 20 votes either way, I think that matters.
Every vote matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can voters get involved with local politics aside from, you know,
Voting?
yeah.
Sure. So there's so many ways. And the first thing I'm going to make a pitch for is being an election judge. 1 day commitment, well, maybe a couple days because you have to go through training. But you can call up the Will County Clerk's office or go online to the Will County Clerk's office and you can volunteer to be an election judge. So you have to go through some training. They offer some pay for it. But then on election day, it's a long day because, you know, our polls are open. I think it's like 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you got to be there the whole day. But you're there making sure that elections are run in a fair and equitable manner. And we do a pretty good job, not just in Illinois, but in Will County. Our county clerks, both Democratic and Republican, historically have done a very good job of running fair and equitable elections. So I'll put that out there. But that is because they train really good election judges to make sure that everybody gets in, that there's no shenanigans, that things are done in a good way. So election judges, 1 day, but you get to be part of democracy. Like, that's really cool. So I think everybody should go out and volunteer to do that. And actually, high school students can do that too. So you don't have to be 18 to do that. There's a deal where you can actually like get out of school to do that. So if you have younger siblings, everybody go out and be an election judge. You can volunteer for your local political organization. Again, Google's your best friend. Google, you know, local political organizations. You can go and do that. You can volunteer for a campaign. Because we're not a swing state, there's not a lot of presidential campaign going on here, but there are county level races, there are state level races, and those races will be way more excited to have your help because it's really hard for those campaigns to find people to help them. So Google around, see who's running in your local area, ask if you can help. If you are outgoing, they will ask you to knock doors. It's not as scary as it sounds, and they will train you to do it. You basically go knock on strangers' doors and tell them why you're excited about democracy. And you know, that there's an adage about you know, apathy and democracy, and how apathy is what kills democracy. And I think that's what we're seeing too, that we can all disagree about issues, but you know, it's not our disagreements that hurt democracy, it's the apathy. Because we can argue about issues, but it's when too many people get apathetic that the disagreements overtake the power of democracy. So get out there. There's plenty of stuff to be helpful. And if you can't get out there and volunteer, donate $5 to a candidate that you support.
Those are really great ways to get involved. Some I haven't thought about, but I'll be thinking about them now.
Good.
All right. Stay tuned.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Well, that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Good Morning Lewis.
Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.